thank you for coming in today.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, good. I'm excited to talk to you about Joey and how he's doing. And, we've just seen him for a few weeks in class so far, but I think we're getting a good idea about where he is and what some strengths are and things that we might be working on. So,
great.
Let me show you some of the things that we have done with Joey.
Okay.
Something that we do with all of our kinders coming in is this beginning of the year assessment, and it just gives us a good idea about some of the things that we're looking for, how well they know some things like letters and numbers, and gives us an idea of really what we want to focus on with Joey.
Okay.
So I'll just show you some of the things that we've had him do on this assessment, and this is not his in-class work. This is a specific little assessment we do with each child individually.
Okay.
And so then as we do his work, then it shows kind of these things show up in his work as well.
Okay.
So this is a fun thing. We get to see how they write their name, and I just love seeing their individual handwriting showing already, even this young. But you can see he's really doing really well forming his letters and his name. So he even has his J going the right way, which I was really impressed with.
That's good. He's been working hard on that.
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad to hear that you're working on stuff at home with him.
We try. We don't get a lot done, but we try a few things.
Well, I know families are busy, but we really feel that we are partners with you. You know, you guys are his first line of education, and we really are coming alongside and trying to help with what you're doing. You guys are the leaders in his education.
Okay.
So
great.
We went over some colors, just seeing what color recognition is like. I gave him some crayons and just asked him to show me, what is this color, and then I just put a mark, and you can see that he kind of got most of those primaries down.
Yeah, I noticed he seems to have trouble with pink.
Okay.
So we'll work on that. Pink isn't his favorite boy color, so.
Well, that's understandable. A lot of boys don't really care to recognize pink. It'll come. And some children mix up pink and purple as well. They're just a little bit outside of the normal, red, green, blue, yellow kind of.
Right.
So that'll come. He's doing fine.
Good.
We had him recognize shapes for us. Circle and square doing just fine. Squares and rectangles are difficult because they both have those 4 square corners.
Okay.
So I'm not concerned that he called them both squares.
Okay.
That's just that'll come. And then we'll work on the triangle and diamond as well.
Okay, that sounds good.
Alrighty. We went over number recognition. Joey counts really well. His consecutive counting verbally. You must have been working on that a lot at home.
Good. Yeah, we have worked on that some at home.
Oh, that's great. We had him recognize numbers visually, and you can see that he really got most of those up to 20 quite well.
Okay, great. So we can work, it looks like, on the numbers from 10 to 20, maybe a little bit more.
Yes, that's a typical challenging area. Those tween and teen numbers don't really fit into the box of the rest of the numbers. That's very common, but you can see what would be good to be practicing more at home.
Okay, great.
And we had him write his numbers for us, 1 to 10. He's doing quite well on formulation. A few are flipped, but with practice, that will become clearer for him. But really, his understanding of formation is quite well.
Good.
The one challenge we've had so far with him with his math is with something called one-to-one correspondence. I have this little manipulative to show you what the challenge is. While he can verbally count really well, he does like to race through those numbers because he knows them so well by heart. But when we're counting one item for one number, he's having a challenge understanding that we say one number for one object. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I give him this sheet with the 10 buttons printed, he'll want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as he runs his finger across.
Okay.
So he's getting that left to right understanding well.
He gets in that hurry thing.
Sure.
He wants to hurry through things.
Yeah, very understandable. So what we're doing with Joey here is giving him a set of little objects, and any little object would work. I have some buttons here, and I will have him take one out of my hand and say 1.
Okay.
And then I want him to take one more and say 2.
Okay.
So this is what we're doing, practicing with him in our small math breakout sessions.
Okay.
So that he gets that understanding of one item gets one number.
Okay.
And we're not saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
So
would it help if he would touch one and say 1?
Sure.
And then touch the next one and say
Absolutely.
2?
Yeah, they could all be out here as well.
All right.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
So-
well, we can work on that. We can use Cheerios or something.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah, anything that,
Okay.
any little objects, anything you have that he has enough that he can count.
Okay.
Just to make sure that he is, when it's printed on a page, I think sometimes there's not that association that this is a separate object from this.
Got it. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, that
So,
would be
yeah,
easy
that would-
to do.
That would
So
be
we
great to
can
work on
that.
together. That'd be great. These are his letters. We have him recognize capitals and lower cases individually.
Okay.
And I've marked a few there that he struggled with, but he really did very well getting most of those down.
Okay. All right. He does. He loves to read, and he loves to look at books. So,
Oh, that's great.
um,
Reading at home with kids is really vital to their progress.
Okay,
You know, they
good.
get to read to us here and they get read to here, but they just need so much more exposure and so much more time. So
Okay.
I'm glad to hear that you guys take time to read with him at home.
He does. He likes to read. We like to read with him at night before he goes to bed.
Oh,
So-
that's great. And then he did his sounds for us as well. So I would ask him if he
Okay,
could tell
so
me
we're into
what
sounds
sounds
already.
this makes.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to get these kiddos reading as fast as we can
Okay.
independently. So we definitely want to make sure that we recognize any issues where there are letters that we really need to work on more for them to recognize that sound when it comes up.
I noticed that he missed like his B and his D and his P. Is that pretty typical of kindergartners? Or?
It really is.
Okay.
I don't think it's very helpful that in our alphabet we have things that look so similar.
Yeah.
That's kind of a hard thing to do to kids,
Yeah.
but they all do get it.
Thanks.
Just maybe a little more work needed in certain areas for,
Okay.
some kids might struggle more with the B's and the P's, and some are struggling more with the N's and the W's. They just
Okay.
do look so similar, and it's easy to flip that
Okay.
in their mind. So we'll know for Joey that we have some specific things that will give him more opportunities to practice
Okay.
and just put that in front of him more often.
Okay.
Those are very typical. They have the circle and the stick, and to learn which one goes
side
which
it
way.
goes on?
Yes, it's just a matter of practice, and that's why
Okay.
it's so important that you're practicing with them at home.
Okay.
That's so great.
All right. We can do that. We'll try that.
All right. One more. Lastly, we just had him recognize his letters and his name. I wrote it out for him and asked him
Okay.
to tell me which letter was which, and he could do that
That's
just
great.
fine.
Good. Yeah. He's been
Yes.
able to do that for a while.
Yeah. So I noticed that Joey's dominant hand is his right. He likes to
Okay.
hold his pencil in his right hand. And we're trying to help him to learn a good, healthy grip on his pencil.
Okay.
He does.
I notice sometimes he doesn't seem to hold it quite right,
Yeah, sometimes
which makes it harder for him.
Exactly. And when they change, if they pick it up this way one time and they're trying to watch you and copy where are you putting your fingers, it's going to help him with his penmanship and with his dexterity and his muscle strength if he can get a good, comfortable grip that he uses every time.
Okay. All right.
So I think a good thing to do for Joey is to get him a pencil grip helper. It slides onto his pencil,
Oh, okay.
and it allows him to just slide his fingers into these little pockets. where they'll go into
okay,
the
great.
same, they'll go in the same way every time, so he can get that good, healthy, strong grip on the pencil.
Okay.
And so I'm actually going to be ordering some of those for the classroom, and we'll be able to have a couple we can send home with you
Oh,
as
great.
well if you're willing to
Yeah,
have
that
him
would be
use them at
awesome.
home.
I would love that.
That'd be great. The consistency
Good.
is the thing for that, I
Okay.
think.
All right, great. That would be good.
All right, so that's our academic assessment. Joey's really doing very well,
Oh,
and I'm
good. I'm
really
so
glad to
glad.
have like a clear picture of where we're going.
Okay.
Did you have any questions on
No,
any of that?
it's none of it really surprises me. It's pretty consistent with what I see at home, and
Okay.
I've noticed kind of the pencil grip, but I'll make sure if when you send the grips home that we make sure and use those
Sure.
when he writes. All right.
Another thing you can do, I should have brought a Kleenex over. Another thing we can do while we're waiting for those to come in
Okay.
is what I've done with some other children is to give them a Kleenex,
Okay.
ball it up and put it in their hand, and then show them
okay.
that they need to close these two fingers over the Kleenex. The last two fingers.
Okay.
Then they have to hold on to that Kleenex the whole time they're writing. That leaves these three fingers open, and you can literally lay the pencil right in there, and they have to hold it properly because
Got it.
there's no other way to use these three fingers to hold the pencil.
Ah,
And then just
okay.
make sure that you remind them, hang on to that Kleenex, don't let it fall out, and then
okay.
they can have a good grip on their pencil that way. So that's another
All right.
option we could do with
Oh,
him.
that's great. We can work on that.
Alrighty.
That's good.
Um,
So how's he do like with friends, and he seems to really like school and he wants to
Yeah.
come every day, which is really good. I'm really excited about that. So how is
oh,
he
that's great.
on the playground and stuff?
Well, I love seeing Joey's enthusiasm in class.
Oh, good.
He does really enjoy being here. He gets a big kick out of our callbacks that we use to get the class's attention.
Oh, okay.
He is one of my first ones to lead the rest of the class
Good.
in responding correctly to those. You know, when I call out chicka chicka, he's right there with his boom boom, and the others just
Oh.
follow him. He's a leader, really.
Oh, good. That's
and
great.
he enjoys that. It's a game, and it really helps our class.
Good.
Yeah, when we go out to the playground, we are always walking in a line, and the kids have to learn the proper way to walk from here to there. It really helps to limit injuries, and kids run in directions they shouldn't go, and it's really important that they follow those procedures.
Okay.
We have something we call a 4S line,
Okay.
and the 4 S's stand for silent, still, straight, and smiling.
Oh, okay.
And the last one I think is really important. It might not sound like you should need to smile when you're walking somewhere, but if you take the time to smile, it really just kind of aligns your mind with what we're doing and gets those attitudes. It's kind of hard to be grumpy or be pouty when you've made yourself smile.
Okay.
So we do those 4 S's before we walk, and Joey's really good with
Oh,
that.
good.
He really is responding well to procedure.
Oh, great.
So
good.
he enjoys his playground time a lot.
Okay.
We have noticed one thing that we are working with Joey on the playground.
Okay.
As much as he enjoys playing and he has kids that love to play with him, we've noticed a little bit of aggression coming up now and then
Okay.
with him. We've had a couple of incidences where he has hit somebody on the playground.
Oh, all right.
And it
We'll
seems
have
to
work
me
on that.
it seems like it's when he's really frustrated about something that somebody is not doing what he's wanting. They're not giving him the ball, or they're not listening, not playing the way he wants. And it seems like it's a situation where some words would be needed instead,
Okay.
and he's resorting to that physical.
Kind of impulsive then?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Have
All
you
right.
seen that kind of thing?
Yeah,
come up?
we have, especially when he plays with kids his own age. He has a younger brother that he does really well with, but there's like 4 years between
Oh, okay.
them. And so I have seen that a few times when he plays more with kids his own age.
Okay.
So that's something we'll work with him on, is using words instead of that acting out.
Okay, that would
Okay.
be great. That's kind of what we're doing here, and I wanted to see if there was something you were noticing or doing at home that we
Okay.
could partner with and fit
All right.
in with you on.
Usually we just pull him away from this situation
Okay.
and talk to him and
Okay.
say, you know, how could you do that differently?
Mhm.
Because that's not really acceptable. We don't hit.
Sure.
You know, he doesn't see that, so
Right.
we want him to not be doing that either.
Okay. Okay. That's really good to know. That sounds really similar to what we've been
Okay.
doing.
All right.
We'd actually been taking the time to kind of recreate the situation with the child and talk to him about how we need to choose some words instead of choosing to use our hand, and then
Okay.
actually have him kind of reenact that and kind
Okay.
of play act that out with the child and
All right.
say, you know, well, you need to say, I'd like a turn with the ball. Can you give it to me when you're done? And then actually have him kind of parrot that. And just
Okay.
that practice of him actually needing to do it seems to be helping a lot.
Oh, good.
So-
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it hasn't come up
Good.
as much in the last week, for sure.
Oh, good.
It seems like working that through has brought that down, but we're going to keep making sure that we help Joey to recognize when he needs to use words.
Okay.
And,
All right. Good. That's
Yeah,
good.
great. Okay. Well, you know, like I said, he's made a lot of friends here.
Oh, good.
He has
He loves
just
school.
a charismatic quality. Kids just like to be around him,
Good.
and they're going to want to continue doing that so much more as he learns to use his words, and they can know that if he's upset, he's going to talk to them.
Okay. All right. Good.
So he's bright. He's just fun. I enjoy having him in class.
Good.
I think it's
Good.
going to be a great year with
Well,
him.
great. He's looking forward to it too. I'm very happy with how he seems to be loving to come to school, and he talks a lot about it, and he seems to be very excited. So
Oh, that's
we're
wonderful.
We're very happy with that.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Good.
Well, thank you for coming in again. I know
All right.
taking time out of your schedule it's really good to have you here. It's really
Okay.
important that we're on the same team. You know,
Alrighty.
it's really having that home and school component for Joey working together is really going to help him succeed. It's really going to just up his progress. So
Good.
I'm really
Okay.
excited to see where he's going to go this year.
All right. So are we. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Great. Thanks for coming in.
Okay.